always tell people this. If someone shows up at your door claiming to be police and something feels off, trust that feeling. Because the night my HOA sent fake cops to intimidate my family, they made one mistake. My son opened the door, and he's trained in MMA. It started with parking complaints. Our HOA president, Diane, the kind of woman who smiled while stabbing you with fines, decided my driveway was non-compliant. Even though it had been that way for 18 years, we refused to pay. That's when the letter stopped, and the intimidation began. Late one Friday night, around 10:40 p.m., there was a hard knock on the door. Not a normal knock. A police knock. My wife froze. My younger daughter started crying. Through the peephole, I saw two men wearing dark uniforms, badges, utility belts, no patrol car. That's when my son stepped forward. He's 22, calm, 6 years of MMA training. Discipline drilled into him. "Dad," he said quietly, "these aren't cops." I asked through the door, "Can I see your IDs?" One of them shouted, "Open the door now." "This is the police." Real cops don't yell like that. My son cracked the door just enough to see better. That's when one of the men tried to push the door open. Big mistake. My son blocked the door with his shoulder and said one word, "Stop." The man reached toward his belt. Not for a weapon, for a fake radio. In one smooth motion, my son trapped his arm, twisted, and shoved the door closed again, without throwing a single punch. No rage, no panic, just control. I called 911 immediately. "Someone is impersonating police officers at my home." The men outside started panicking. One shouted, "This isn't worth it." The other yelled, "The HOA told us this would work." That sentence sealed their fate. They ran. But they didn't get far, because our neighbor across the street, an actual retired detective, had already started recording. Within minutes, real patrol cars arrived. Turns out those officers were private security guards hired off the books by the HOA. Diane thought sending uniforms and badges would scare us into compliance. Instead, she committed multiple felonies: impersonating law enforcement, conspiracy, attempted forced entry. The security company folded instantly. The guards flipped on her. And Diane? She resigned before sunrise. The HOA board dissolved 2 weeks later. The fines were erased. Our legal fees were paid, and the state passed a notice to every HOA in the county. This will never happen again. My son didn't brag, didn't celebrate. He just locked the door and went back to the couch. But I'll never forget what he said before walking away. Real power doesn't knock that hard. And now, every night when someone knocks, they knock politely.